Okay, so we talk about aligning with the soul's purpose, and the spirituality is getting widespread for people to begin tapping into the deeper dimension of life. But what is it, this life that's aligning with the soul's purpose? So I started to create this series of 5 pillars of soul purpose ascension, the ingredients that takes us to live experientially living, aligning with the soul purpose. And in this video, I want to talk about the fourth pillar. Fourth pillar is a good one, and it's a really important one, and it's actually in blind spot for a lot of people. Let me review the first three. The first one was to really tapping into the heart desire, to access that heart desire, what you're feeling called to do, the urge of the soul, transferring into the heart desire, and then to really do what you want to do. In number two pillar was to really tapping into that gift, the natural gift that you're here to demonstrate that feels so natural. What feels so natural is so free. So you are expressing that moment to moment, so you're not efforting. The number three was, this is a huge one, embracing your past, your stories that you have lived. So many people hinder what happened, the ability to express themselves based on what happened in the past, some sort of, psychological pain that limits us, the way we believe about ourselves. And all those stories are relevant because that had prepared us to become who we are becoming. That's part of the agenda of the soul. So in this video, I want to talk about the pillar number 4, which is to experience the qualities of the soul in the mind. So let's go one by one. The difference between the mind and the soul. When you think of the soul, that's in the mind. So, what are the experience of the soul? We are living in this physical world that we want to do something and then we want to have a lot of stuff. But ultimately, the having and the doing that we are seeking through this physical realm, the space, time, and reality, is to feel something. So let me give you an example. So you might have something that you want in your life to be able to do something with that having so that you can feel happy, right? You might have something that you want to have so that you can do something with that having so you can feel peaceful or free. So the ultimate destination of this having and doing is to feel and to be internally. That is what we are seeking, right? People wants to have a meaningful relationship, so they have an activity that they're doing with others so that they can feel connected, right? You might want more money to be able to comfortably do things in a way that a lot of people tell me that they want to travel the world, right? So that's an experience, that doing things so that they can enjoy, which is the feeling, life. And then when you start having that feeling long enough, that becomes your identity and the state of being, right? So that thing that we're seeking, such as freedom, abundance, love is a good one. Peace is something that I hear more than anything else, actually. All those things are the quality that inherently your soul possess already, right? Soul is abundance, soul is free, soul is love, soul is peace. So what we are not experiencing in this physical realm, the resistance, right? The doubt and worry and the distraction and overwhelm, frustration that I hear very often, those are mental construct activities of the mind. So the mind that thinks and the mind that chooses its perception is going to dictate the inner body's experience, the internal experience that we are moment to moment living. So, what about if you flip that around? Instead of living, having into doing, into being, what about if we practice internally through the mind to be there already, right? So most people live from that. But when we look at the life from the material point of view, most people live have into do, into be. But let's say if we really understand that universal law of cause and effect and the outside will be manifested or attracted towards you through that internal feeling. And then when we understand that, we have an ability to form any imagery in our mind without getting caught up with that external circumstance. You can drop yourself into that imagination to feel and be already before you have or do. Yeah. So all the qualities of the soul that gives us a sense of expansion, anything that gives us a sense of resistance is a mental construct. So how do we maneuver through life? Which is the key, right? So maneuvering through life through the contra, through what appears to be negative, and then choosing a divine perspective to see the good in everything so that we can stay connected to that feeling of expansion is to experience the quality of the souls in the mind. Anybody and everybody can stay expansive and positive and uplifting when the circumstance is uplifting. When things are not going the way that you're seeking internally, that desiring, how do you choose the perception of the positivity, choose the perception of expansion, empowerment is what we want to practice. So the first step is to notice what you're entertaining in your mind, in your feeling emotions, and the belief that you're in, and then constantly and deliberately shifting your attention to see the good in everything, to choose the perspective that allows us to feel expansive. It doesn't really matter what's going on in the outside, unless you're having a physical danger, right? The psychological stuff is a mental construct. So to navigate that mind theater that we're playing constantly to gives us to put the ingredients that feels us that allows us to feel expansive is the practice we want to do, right? So once you understand that equation of have to do to be and flip that around to start from the be and to move from that being, so the having will be attracted towards you because your internal feeling is already filled with that abundant, free, enjoyable, joyful having. You will completely turn the way you live, and you begin living from the place of ease and flow instead of hustling and grinding. That is to experience the qualities of the soul in the mind consistently. To dive deeper into the Soul Purpose Ascension, I want to invite you to the Soul Purpose Ascension workshop. And I'm going to go through each pillar in conjunction with two fundamental reasons that people are stuck in the most important ingredients, embodiment, and to truly begin creating the conduct of the energetics. You will have a profound experience going through these ascension workshops. So I'm gonna drop the link below. You can click and then it will invite you to my school group that you can access the recording. So I want to also hear what you're taking away from these videos that I'm sharing. So if you have a moment to drop and comment anything that you're taking away from, that'd be great. And I'll see you in the inside in the workshop.